Urubawado, Urubawado, we mami ye blowade, the villa with Arubulese, Ogban Rubuwana. Wa Agogore, Ediruera, or Coahuishi. I know Nana, on the bed Ogban Rubu Kede, Ohuaraki said, Luna to Dake Urubuna. On the who, Lemmo on the who, I am your door, you've out tack bondage. Ogbune oyibo yorùẹ wọdẹkẹfẹfù odoyibo na ọswana ọjẹwẹ ìta òrùbọ ọbawọ Sweden na akenya abẹgbọn náà kwụrẹ one olùkùgbẹrẹ urùbọ lẹsẹ urùbọ anthem.
Urobo kokore agbare urobo orere ibesa.
Wakobecha wakobiru abekenya ki o ba jevere ono gbunire akpone so bi fugeri ode emla seji abekono kwore une oyofu taye o ka yoko obore umi agwana ru e ogburo wa ramba.
Hey, my friend, time now money. Make you not play with your work, yeah.
Time well, no waka waka, no gossip, no spoil another man. Use your time well, do better thing. Money not come from heaven, do better thing. Money goes come. Now true word that they tell you so. Hey, true word not be cheap, my brother. Not the square person. Yeah. Time na money, time na money. Make you use your time well. No waka waka, no gossip, no spoil another man. Use your time well, do better thing. Money not come from heaven. Do better thing, money go come. Now true word that they tell you so. Pulling and low. Hey. Money not come from heaven. Do better thing, money go come. Now true word that they tell you so. Pulling and low. Send the money, oh. Send the money. Make you use your time well. No waka waka. No gossip gossip. Don't spoil another man. Do better thing. Do better thing. Send the money, oh. Send the money, oh. Send the money, eh.
Otionye on the umiagwana awehere na egba na meshone network na je worry na Cuba ta vere network ohe era mo ko fa ibo bledu but ke bavu o ko maboko wa inuge na awada je iho imiagwa adi ko iwieri o ma peri 1980s in ya egbe hockey awon akponeje iho rock na di iho robofu akponeje ono mu wie urobo oyi me odoro gbogbo nura ba na bo bia na ji tokene na ojijiruo ojo onu na fo so buru ono gbune olojibo ki o be ta fe but ke ba funa enu ni na so na joji opa odoro gbogbo nu o fa mi ke hu na se na o kere ego no ji hu no yo fa awon mle obore oje wi ati be uruba pa gbonu re akiro.
Àti ráìsì ó gbọ́dọ̀ kọjá, wọ́n á jẹun.
Ation ye when also asena on when you toss away when you tiny where sene akpo you wikewe on ubole utore uyibo so na our horrible. Hear your papa, hear your mama make life for better for you. The Bible jetane imo koko so ko vonyo ko sene akpo ko ja gluglu je woda no na so ka wo so na bubula ba je bitu okay na je bubula ba ye ya ba le godo no okay na re you okay na edegini si tai kwenu manike imora ware degini nyita se vini aye manije obebi a over ekoto bo okay na wana jobia je esama vini aba okay na manika je vie ti pepe bi oto na imora ka mo se yobi ai ke mama kpo mabla ke beri so sure to rubo ma ja ba fu bula ba nu na ko isoro re unanawo juno be ra gaga. Hear your papa, hear mama make life better for you. Ono mi agwana here na suru oso ware. Je metane inikwe su ne oke na ye pe 1980s ye. Oyo ma egbupo oju vere oyo su nere. Ogboji de motete ye ko wovo. Enu ne na ojiji shwe. Opinoko ojiji shwe venu ne na. Inoko nora na oji piskuru odobe yi jiji shwe nu ne na. Odina wokwu noko na ekuru ko chere wokwu noko na onya ribicha wokwu noko ribicha ifo ki ihu re inyu ewe orobo na begono je oyibo. Yes, this is welcoming you to Ogban Robo Facebook Live, where we are hoping to have Mr. Mike Okri, a veteran musician known worldwide, that's known for his Time Na Money song. When he was doing these songs like 40 years ago, so many persons didn't know that a time would come where we'll remember the song. And you see, he was saying that time na money, and truly time is money. If you waste your time, of course, you're wasting your money. You're wasting everything about you. So as today, we are hoping to have him online where he will talk about the Mike Okri brand and the way forward and the journey so far. Rather, I beg your pardon. You know, he has been out of the country for a while, but he's trying to connect back with his people here in Nigeria. Before he comes, I still want to play one of his song that he did live in a Teju Baby Show program here in Nigeria.
Okay. Now, wow. Hey! This tea, na African woman proper. Looking for face, she not be very at all. A kind of super love that make me wonder. Touch am for body, inokuni. She be number one, original Lagos baby. I'm a TV birthday. This one at Mamba. Make sure you love the electric current. That is why my omo girl na la Kayana baby. Oh, sing with me. Duro duro. My sister fi mi sílẹ̀, ọmọge o, má fi mi sílẹ̀ o. Muja muja, wọ́n jẹ́ ju bẹ́ẹ̀ rẹ̀, ọmọge o. Ọmọge yesterday, no fit gree your own today. She go tell you say, no be only you be her lover. Put ear for ground, na ọmọ Èkó dandan ni. Original and young get money na hand back the ground. This one a razor blade, Samsung baby can't get go. She not go like make you say she go pass her mama. Tell him to slow, kata kata go bosu, and everything go babuka. She go fell find a way, and you not go see her again. Oh, come on, duro duro, come on. My sister fi mi sílẹ̀, ọmọge o, má fi mi sílẹ̀ sẹ́. Yeah. Oh yes sir. ready? 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Are you ready, ladies? Go, 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 go. Thank you for the ladies. Thank you. Woo! Ah. One more time, come on. I'ma get yesterday, not to be your own today. She go tell you say, not be only you be her lover. Put air for ground. Now more echo than them. Original and young and money in her hand. Back the ground, this one a razor blade, some baby pancake. She no go like make you say she pass her mama. Tell her to slow. Come on! Woo! Never take over Africa. She go fell and find a way. And you never see her again. Come on! Oh. Your hands! Duro, 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 duro. Okay now. Almost every every day. Almost every every day. Almost every every day. I don't hear you. Almost every every day. When I know what you think every day mean. Come. Almost every every day means standard. I don't want to mention more than that. Then before I come out, you get one dance one with the dance back in those days. I'm sure most of you, either they never born now or when I be babies then. But you know what? When I go down here, maybe mama papa talk am. It goes like this. Fiore viopo, fiore viopo, fiore viopo, fiore viopo, fiore viopo, fiore viopo. Thank you. Fiore viopo. Ah, I won't let you. Now small. Go down. Up. Yeah. Rise and shine. Ladies and gentlemen.
Viore, Viokbo. Bring it home, take it away. Bring it home, take it away. That's the meaning of Viore. While we still await him, I'm so very sorry. I know that the hiccup is won't be unconnected with network issues. If you're just joining us, this is Ogban Robo Facebook Live. I interview with a renowned musical legend, living legend, Mr. Mike Okri. We are hoping to have him online soon, God willing. Then before he comes, let's use this opportunity to dissect the song he did that I played a while ago, Time Now Money. Yes, how did we spend our today? Let's start from there. And the comment section is open for interactive, for interaction. Please, if you have anything to say or contribute, use the comment section now. How did we spend our today? Did we spend it in a profitable way? Have we been at home resting or sleeping? If you've been at home resting or sleeping, that doesn't mean that you've wasted your day. No, that's because you've also gained so much by resting. And of course, you know that one of the factors necessary for growth is rest. If you're no longer growing, but at least you still need rest to keep the body better. So, how did you spend your today? I'll tell you how I spent mine. It's horrible. I spent my day all through on the road. And unfortunately, because I was trying to dodge the hectic traffic jam at the overhead bridge in Onitsha and Asaba, I forgot my car keys. As we speak, my car is parked somewhere, and I can't. I don't have access to it. And so that was how I spent my day. So we are trying to x-ray the song "Time Na Money" by Mike Okri before he comes on board. So, how did you spend your day? Let's have it. Let's discuss it. Let's laugh it out. Was it horrible? Was it good? Time na money. Did you actually make money from the time you spent today? If no, why? If yes, congratulations. But we hope to get your comments at this comment section so that we can together do this together. I'm waiting. And let's not forget, it is we're expecting Mike Okri, the global musical maestro that is noted for Time Na Money. He did so many songs, but I so much love Time Na Money. Don't know about you. Yes, I so much love Time Na Money because it has reminded me that I should know what to do with my time. Why should I waste my time when I know I can't gain it back? Don't forget, a second plus a second plus a second into 60 places will give you 1 minute. So if you succeed in wasting 60 seconds, that means you've wasted 1 full minute of your life. Probably doing nothing or you didn't achieve anything. Then, if you now waste 1 minute plus another minute into 60 places, you've gotten an hour. That means you've wasted 1 hour. Time na money. Time is one of the currencies with which we buy the things money cannot buy. That's the very reason why we are using Mike Okri's Time na Money song as a yardstick for today's business. Yes, Henry Agogobus. Thanks for promoting the Robo-Rich cultural heritage. Thank you too. Thank you too. Your contribution to the development of Robo Nation and also Christianing our culture is of no mean repute. So thank you. So as I was saying, how did we spend our day today? How did you spend it? If you spend it well, please, the comment section is open. Did you go to work? Tell us. Did you go to market? Tell us. Did you take out time with your friends? And are you in the bar right now? Are you in the club? Are you watching match? How did you spend your day? We are waiting for your comments at the comment section. As I was saying, time is did money. Truth be told, 10 years ago, some of us were in secondary schools or we've just finished secondary school, be asking ourselves, when are we going to gain admission? Some were in primary school. They will be thinking, when am I going to be admitted into secondary school? But 10 years has passed just like that. It has flown with the wings just like that. Time is like chaff. But as it is, you don't even know you are spending the time at all. You don't know you are spending it at all until maybe 5 years is gone. You now look and say, wow, I've spent this time. So time, now money. So how did you spend your day? Honorable Ejiro Gidigbe, thank you so much for appreciating us. Nice one, bro. Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much. So how did you spend your day? How did you spend your today? Let us know how you spent your day. Did you spend your day cooking Ogweri and Busi? Let us know. What did you do? Did you spend your day eating? Did you spend your day sleeping? Time, now money. While we still wait for Mike Okri, let us still play this song of his, Time Na Money. That is the basis for our discussion this evening.
Hey, my friend, time na money. Oh. Make you not play with your work, yeah.
Waka, no gossip, no spoil another man. Use your time well, do better thing. Money not never from heaven, do better thing. Money go come. Now true word that they tell you so. Hey, true word not be cheap, my brother. Not the spoil person, you know good, you hear? Time well, no waka, no gossip, no spoil another man. Use your time well, do better thing. Money don't come from heaven, do better thing. Money go come. Now true word that they tell you so. Hey.
Use your time, do better thing. Not take and waka, go dey gossip people. Not take and go dey do choo. Not take and do wonyo wore. You know, in as much as you may not know the implication, but as you are doing it, you are wasting your own time. You are not doing anybody but yourself. So what do you do with your time? And what did you do with your time today? Did you actually go using your time well? Or like my Okri advised, you use it to do waka, gossipy, trying to destroy another man. Did you do that? If you did that, it's not good. Then tomorrow, make sure you remediate it, make sure you correct it, and spend your time well. But If you didn't do that, so what did you do? But I know that we honorable nation, we don't do that. And why we don't do that. So what exactly did you use your time for today? The comment section is free, and I'm waiting for your comments, your responses, to know exactly what we spend our time doing today. Because time now money, as Mike Okri has opined, and he has advised that make we not use our time for aproko, make we not use them for jaga jaga, because at the end of the day, now we lost the time. So what did you do with your time? What do you do with your time? While we are still waiting for him, Lisa, if there is anything happening around your place this evening in Yoruba land, or at least wherever you stay and you're a Yoruba person, feel free to tell us. Let us share it with us. Let us discuss it. Let us look into it. Let us make this evening a memorable one. We are still waiting for our guest for today, Mr. Mike Okri, who is battling with his network. So, what did you use your time for today? Okri has told us, say, time na money. We could not use our time, go to do waka waka. We could not take and go, they do apropos. We could not go take and they do choo choo choo. You don't hear. Now, so mama or no man come mess. And Okri say we could not use our time for that, because if you use your time like that, now waste the time. So be free to tell us what you did with your time today. Let us laugh it out. Let us share your experience. Let us gain some experience from what you did with your time today. Did you waste your time? If you didn't waste your time, let us know. Did you rest with your time? Yes, if you rest with your time, it's not wasted, because the body needs rest, if not for growth, but at least to keep your body well. So what did you do with your time today? Of course, I know today being Wednesday, many of us went to work, went doing our various businesses. Yes, we know. So what did you do with your time? I'm waiting for the first person that will tell me what he or she did with the time today, while we wait for our guest, who is still battling with his network. So what did you do with your time? While we still wait, let's play another song by Mike Okri, where he was advising our youth. I am full of smiling because finally the musical hero we've been waiting for has arrived. I call him musical hero because I am very sure some of us listening to this song this evening weren't born when these songs were played. And you can see the music are evergreen. His songs are evergreen. Any day you pick any of Mike Okri's song and you play it, the music, in fact, it's like a soup that you just put in the refrigerator and it's always fresh. Before I bring him on board, in fact, his own case is different. We are going to welcome him on board today with one of the program he did in a Teju Babyface comedy. I want to use it to welcome him. So as soon as the song finishes, I'll bring him on board. So let's enjoy this.
Okay. Now, wow. Hey! This the tea, na African woman proper. Looking for face, she not be beret at all. I kind of super love.
Sorry, that was
it. Ladies and gentlemen, you're welcome back to the Teju Babyface Show. The performer I'm about to introduce, just in case you don't know yet from the tune, is a fantastic guy. One of the most beautiful voices Nigeria ever had. Please welcome with me back to the Teju Babyface Show. Really, back to Nigeria, really, back to Africa. The one, the only, the beautiful voice of Mr. Mike Okri!
Hey, my friend, time and money. Make you not play with your work here. And so we see it. Time the money, oh, time the money. Time the money, yeah. Time the money. Time the money, yeah. Time the money. Make you use your time well. No waka waka. No gossip. No spoil no them man. Use your time well. Do better thing. Money not never from heaven. Do better thing. Money go come. Now true words that they tell you so. Only I know. Hey, now Teju Babyface with this song. Please, not gonna give her a hand. I don't know, say you didn't rock like. Whoa. Yes, so that's our old school style. Okay, make I show you one dance. That's what they call Kabbalistic man. Oh boy, the bubble deal. Okay, you win for that one. No. Never go. Then the other one be. this one. I didn't call on yaga yaga. For my place. Anyhow. 1, 2, 1, and yeah. 1, 2, and yeah. And then 1, 2. Please put your hands together for me. Hey! Temnamonio, 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 Temnamoni, 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 yeah. No waka waka, no gossip gossip, just one know them man. Use your time well, do better thing. Money not differ from heaven, do better thing. Money go come. The true one that they tell you so. Only them know. Hey, give up. Okay, I go teach you now one thing. Everybody for here, we're gonna go like this. Una for this side. We're gonna stop. Not stop, oh. Then the one for here, una go. Una here. Time na monyo, 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 time na money, Orinando. Thank you. You're wonderful people. Wonderful audience. Put your hands together for yourselves. Woo! I'm so excited to be here.
Welcome back. I'm very sure these are clip reminded us about something. Time. So with this, I want to welcome on stage Mr. Mike Okri.
Thank you for having me. Uroboado, Sikoko.
Yes, make a gaga. Also, very to warrior or whatever we say Ogban robo. But work on your ta when Odiko robo should be then you robo for Kota they go be gonna show you go.
But for that Urobo Banwo de Ukoko Igwegbon kai Igboya Owori one must Jigbona but Meje wa understand the elbow.
Ababu. Hey, I can't work one share.
You tell. All right.
Boss Akotovio, before we go, I want to read the CV of this great man from Robo Nation. Yes, Mr. Mike Okri is a renowned Nigerian artist of international acclaim. When this versatile, no refuse, no fad crooner made his chart buster debut titled Concert Fever in the 80s, it was a great phenomenon that ushered spice and change the Nigerian music industry. Beg your pardon. Mr. Mike Okri is a renowned Nigerian artist of international acclaim. When this versatile, okay, sorry, it's like it was repeated. Yes. Mr. Mike Okri is a renowned Nigerian artist of international acclaim. When this versatile no fuse, no fad crooner made his chart buster titled Concert Fever in the 80s, it was a great phenomenon that ushered spice and change into the Nigerian music industry. This singer, songwriter, producer, novelist, humanitarian was first ever to be signed on the CBS Record Nigeria, later Sony Music Nigeria. Sony Music, in the collaboration with Benson and Hedges Music, released his second award-winning album, Rumba Dance, in the early 80s, with a third mind-blowing album, Crack. With a premiere music 2 years later, this velvet voice crooner made his mark as one of the African brightest stars whose music has come to earn him the name legendary. I mentioned it before he came. He's won for himself over the years awards in different categories and at different times in both the Nigerian Music Award (NMA) and Fame Music Awards (FMA), respectively, including other local and international awards such as the Pan-African Music Award in Ghana. Mike Okri is presently living in living in Los Angeles, California, USA. He also visits Nigeria on a regular basis. I mentioned it. And he's about to begin a new phase in his musical career. Though he recorded a self-titled album, Rim Sticker, with Global Village Record, a Los Angeles-based independent label. He's now working on something new and spectacularly huge. The music profile. Sorry, we need to read your profile so that people will know where we are coming from. His music is profound, beautiful piece of creative art on canvas, a unique Afrobeat style fused with ethnic and Western echoes. A strong poetry of rhythm and sound heals and uplifts the human spirit and soul. Of course, attest to that. His didactic lyrics, richly backed by the blend of intensifying rhythm and sound, makes it a unique class of world Afro music. Mike Okri calls Afro rhythmic soul. Wow. Mike Okri is a graduate of broadcast journalism at TV College, Jos, Plateau State, Nigeria. He also served in various capacities in the Musicians Union, PIMAN, including being its one-time second vice president. He's a staunch intellectual property crusader. He also served as a director in the membership board of the Musical Copyright of Nigeria, with King Sunny Ade then as the presiding chairman. Afro rhythmic soul is Mike Okri's new creative rebirth, and with it, God willing, he is ready to conquer the world in ways musically compelling and sweet. I welcome you tonight, Mr. Mike Okri.
Rendo. Thank you for bringing me on and making it possible for me to also rub minds with most of our great men and women out there, young and old. And I kind of dole my heart for you for this service. I am looking forward to a wonderful interview as well as a wonderful outing this time around.
Well, you know, when I watched some of your interviews, and in fact, let me tell you one thing, I'm so proud that you are Urobo man, and you've been able to take Urobo Nation to the peak, even in 1980s. You know, I deliberately played that Omoge song. You know, when you were saying, you used a Urobo word there. Yes. Then Omotevi Keberide. You know, if you watch the music industry in Nigeria today, most of the, let me say 95% of Nigerian music artists, they always feature Yoruba, Hausa, and Igbo. So with you, We have the belief that someday the whole world will come again and they will start enjoying revolution. So welcome on board, sir.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Before we go to the business of the day, please, tell us a little thing about this your song, Time Na Money.
I see it as something relevant to every beat of one's life. You know, you can't separate time from your time. So automatically, every bit of time you spend relates into labor, work over the years. So if you sit down and do nothing, you get nothing. But if you work so hard, the result will pay off. If not now, it will be later as your legacy. So it's important that no one should play with time. And that's the meaning of that song.
Thank you so much. The truth is that sometimes when I go to bed too early, I remember your song and I wake up to start working, even at night. That's the truth. Because yes, time is money. You know, and like I said before you came on board, 1 second plus 1 second into 60 places give you 1 minute. 1 minute plus 1 minute into 60 places will give you 1 hour. So why spend 1 second, 1 minute going to gossip? Why spend this whole time going to do things that will not add value to your name or put food on your table? So thank you. Now, we have just 2 major things to talk about today, which is the Mike Okri brand and the journey so far. So let's start with the Mike Okri brand. What is the Mike Okri brand?
Yeah, Mike Okri brand, from what anyone can deduce, and me most especially, is to understand that it's become a household name and a name that's here to stay by God's grace. So it's what we've decided to do is to come back and embrace our space. We never left, but yes, sometimes people will say, "Oh, why did you go for so long?" And I said, "Well, sometimes leaving the scene in some ways help to reorganize you." So that is one of the reasons we had to come up with a label, the Mike Okri Entertainment label, and Mike Okri Entertainment Promotion, Mike Okri Entertainment movie industry, and so forth. We want to really get into the creative industry in such a way that Mike Okri would add his own quota to what is already being done by a whole lot of great creative people. People will say, we may not have started too early. How come it is now? But it is never too late until late. We just thank God that we are here alive to be relevant, to do our best in adding our quota.
Thank you. Thank you. Now, we don't, your music, your work has told many stories about you. Now, what's the journey so far? What's the journey so far?
The journey so far, yes, it was true that I relocated to the United States of America. And one of the things that piqued my imagination at the time was my real eager to explode internationally. When I did, I barely, of course, nobody knows tomorrow. And sometimes you can't really blame God for when some things happen. But with my good intention, my intent was really to go abroad and re-establish my person and works, but like the story goes, I went there with family and I got a little complacent based on the fact that yes, a place so nice, you never no lights off one day. You just look at, you want a car just like this, you get it. You want to pay your bills, you have to work and get a job and do it, and you don't have to know Mr. Who or have a godfather in any establishment to be able to get things done. So I got a little like, okay, this place will be different, a good place to raise my kids, a good place to raise family. And that was what happened. And the other one too was actually when you resettle in another man's land, you're bound to go through due process of documentation and all that. So that added up with the time, not wasted, but time accumulated. However, we also had this thing about what do Mike Okri stand for worldwide. But we never knew that MTV Base was going to come to Africa and establish that big giant dream we had. So sometimes it's like the proverbial pebbles that's been thrown into the air by God Himself. And anyone that catches it could be in any part of the earth. Whoever catches his own first could come up with the idea of whatever God has given to many. So in my case, I thank God for being alive today because it means that yes, I'm still relevant based on my evergreen songs, and I choose to also make sure that if I'm coming back on board, I want to come up with relevant songs. I want to also sign on some other artists. As we speak, we have 3 artists that are on board with me on my Okri Entertainment. So it's been a rough road, but it's a jolly one at that.
Yes. I have one very novel question for you. What's inspiring you? Because all your songs, like I said, they are evergreen. So what's inspiring? What's giving you inspiration, sir?
Well, the storyteller in me knows that, it's like a good photographer. He will know how to angle his camera to be able to capture the essence of the pictures he's taking that makes him win his prize as a good photographer. The same thing goes with a cinematographer. The same thing goes with a producer, knowing what beat and what voice will add up to make a great hit. The same thing goes with a singer who wants to believe that, look, I just don't want to be singing anything and that people will sooner forget as soon as they walk out of the club house. I want to make sure that I sing songs that when they're driving 350 kilometers across the countryside, they're thinking and dreaming. And such imagination makes them recreate and be well informed and to add that up to make up their lives. So I'm glad when people walk up to me and say, oh, sir, I grew up with your song. If it wasn't for this song, that song, my parents were able to caution me. I was able to walk out to be a better person. Those are the things. Sadly, if we say such things are not existing today, not all of them. People have just pushed aside. There are great artists out there that are singing good songs, but the bad ones have dominated. So we want to see how we can kind of correct the anomaly. So once we're able to do that, people will be reflective of good music again.
Thank you. If you look back to your song, your music, the 80s, early 90s, how do you feel?
Well, before my time, there were other great songwriters, the likes of Blessed Memory, Sonny Okosuns. We could talk about the likes of great songwriters and musicians like King Sunny Ade, Ebenezer Obey, even to reflect some of our indigenous music like the likes of Johnson Aja, Omokomoko, America, many like that. We will talk about Ogban and many more. These are music of yesteryears that inspire people like us as well. And when we were growing up, we realized that it was important to be able to be creative and to come up with something that will last a century, if not more. So it depends. And I was grateful too that I was raised by parents who, in the first place, were very, high-handed in some way of discipline, and that helped us in remolding us to be better people that we are today. So this generation is different. However, it still does not mean that we cannot redirect them to be better people for their own generation to come.
Thank you. Asa,
Yeah. Mhm.
you've gone to the shores of the Western world. You've seen it
Mhm.
all. You lived in Nigeria, you lived in Roboland. In fact, you were bred in Roboland. Now, let's
Yep.
bring it back home because everything we do here in Ogban Robo is to
Yeah.
add value to Robo Nation, is to make
Yes.
Robo Nation a better place. So, what do
Yeah.
you think we can do as a people to make the music industry in Roboland creative for our upcoming talents, musicians? What can we do as a people?
Yeah, well, one of the greatest abnormally, and I send this to our leaders. We both our kings, our leaders in politics. I think we should do more by embracing us, do more by appreciating us. Creative works. It's not just all about money, it's about support. Um, uh, uh, to be support driven by those who are privileged, to support those who are beneath them. And I figure out that the division amongst the robos is too glaring. And yet we have one of the most fantastic cultures in the world. We are a unique, diverse people, and our anthem speaks that, volumes of that. However, we are not doing enough to be able to get us to begin to appreciate. I've been in Yoruba land for many years, and I am not, it's not a proud thing to say, yes, I hold this title in Yoruba land, I hold that, I do this, I do that. But in the first instance, I know when we are go above here, sadly, it's not always the case. Omerio Kwamare. That spirit, I want us to get rid of it. Like me now, I'm willing to work with great talents that are from Uroboland. I'm looking forward to maybe one day also trying to sign on an Urobo indigenous music or musician, either in the really indigenous style of Opiri or any other form that falls within that category, or in the high life spectrum. So I am looking at that in the near future, that's what I'll do to encourage our own. Having said that, we could even talk about the issue here of Sally Young. Yeah, the man may have done certain things in his lifetime, and people will say, oh, his children, he didn't do this, he didn't do that. But we're not talking about how he lived his life. We're talking about the legacy, how he impacted people with his music. Sometimes you can separate the person from his works, and it is his works that we want to celebrate. We should forget about how he lived his life. Sadly, not everybody can be so pure to come out and say, okay, I've lived this kind of life and I'm doing good. At the end of the day, that also will make other musicians living certain terrible lives to begin to make adjustments, to begin to say, my people will kind of admonish me if I go wrong because I'm a pace setter. Not only that, I'm also a role model for some people. So that's what it is. Everybody figures are not equal. So let our robos be supportive of one another so that we can grow stronger. You see, in the politics of the day, sadly, we are so divided too. And if we all can rally around like the Zonts will do, like the Shakiris will do, I know they have their own internal wrangling. However, they're still more solidly together than us. And we are supposed to be the fifth largest ethnic group in Nigeria. So if we do not reflect our, call it our ethnic bigness in as far as the language is concerned, then we are not following through what we are supposed to do as a great Robo nation.
Thank you so much. Before we continue, I want to play one of your songs that I revered so much. I termed it the advice. Just a minute.
mama, hear your papa. Life go better for you. Lolo mama, lolo papa ki. Oga delege ma. Uji mama, uji baba mku. Dunia, say muku daddy. Goti ya goti baba Aya dara fún ọ. Yeah, your mama, yeah, your papa. Life go better for you. Lolo mama, lolo papa ki. Oga delege ma. Uji mama, uji baba mku. Dunia, say muku daddy.
Akbo.
I'm very sure that right now you're like somebody that is watching his lifestyle, after the stage, like a footballer watching the game he played while he was still in pitch, at the bench. You've done
Reminiscing.
so much. You've done so much for Robo Nation. You've done so much for Nigeria. You've done so much for
Yeah.
Africa. Hear Your
Thank
Papa, Hear Your Mama is one of those songs that um, I respect so much. I love so much because which is that Ọmọdé Nyota 7 years you say
Yuta. That's true.
and the Bible tell so any child that listens to the parents' advice does not kind of live astray. Now,
No,
going forward, sir, what will be your advice to Urobo youth vis-a-vis the reality side at us that the jobs are no longer there? Of course, talent is looking at us. We have skills looking at us as in and our economic. Just generally, what advice will you give to the Urobo youths?
part of it would have to stem from the fact that we have to love our own. By so doing, we can come together as a people in assisting those that are creatively talented, those who are in other sphere of understanding. I can say particularly music, the art of even speaking the language of Robo itself, because some people are already speculating that it comes, I'm guilty of it too, come 2050, Robo might be among the languages that will go extinct. And that fear of it happening, we may not be here, it will depend on what we do now. So to add to what I've just said, the Robo Nation as a people need to come together. I figure out that the mowers of this world may have thought about this and imagine how best we can move forward. I need Guy Robo and Robo. So if that happens, then the children who are talented can be well endowed. We can begin to look at areas of supporting them, creating the jobs. People shouldn't just see politics as the only means for which jobs can be provided. There are business entrepreneurs that can go into farming. There are business entrepreneurs that can go into the music movie industry. I will do my heart. The only Urobo guy that I think is probably doing some things in the movie industry, I'm not talking about the big names like us, somebody like Orekereke that is doing things locally should be supported, should be because there's a whole lot more that can come from that vineyard of nativity. And I figure that once we are able to assess, and it will be a rich culture brought to the middle part and then to the open, which will make the man in the city not say, oh, I don't know if you speak Urobo. At least from watching those programs, there will be that will be a channel through which they can understand Urobo. And then let us even look at what Urobo stands for. It's a great cultural heritage. but how far can we go? Can we say we've taken it? So we are all guilty of that fact. So the youth too will hold us accountable if at the end of the day we're not we as fathers and our parents are unable to really come together and say let's do things the way they're supposed to be done. So I'm going back to what I said before, that we just have to stand as a nation to be able to raise up those young and great leaders of tomorrow. Because without education, proper creative environment, apprenticeship that will aid them to be smart business people, even at the craft level, then we are just beating around the bush. I think that there are so many rich Urobo men and women, just like the Hebrews have done, and many more, can still open up the chat of how to groom Urobo young men and women to be great.
Thank you so much. The
Thank
truth
you.
is that we observe that the likes of the Mo you mentioned, the likes of the AJIFI, the first principal of Robo College, the
Yeah.
likes of the Hebrews, they are more patriotic, if you ask me, to the revolution that the people have today. And that is
Yes.
why we are where we are today. Yes, we lack patriotism. As we
Yeah.
speak, the Yoreka mentioned, I've seen him struggle to do a couple of programs, but he doesn't have support. The support will
Yes.
not be money, like you said. Acknowledgement, appreciation, acceptability. And if you don't have it, the person will ask himself, so what do I owe this? And by the time we leave it, we did go into extinction. It will surprise you to know that I was privileged to come across a young man, I think an Ogban man, a young man, is a student by the name Otacha. By God's
Mm.
grace, I interviewed him on Friday here. Sir,
Okay.
if you listen to that guy rap with Urobo and the blend of English, you will
Yes.
understand that we have raw materials in the land. But we
Mm.
don't have people that help us. That was
Mm.
why I agree with you when you said you took your music out of Nigeria, to abroad so that you can rebrandish, you can establish and bring it back. Why? This is because all the energy you may have put in, you don't get it directly.
No.
And no, sir, even when you speak the language, those people that have been privileged to live outside the Urobo land, they will call you Oburobo. Very annoying. Funny enough, too, it is heartbreaking when our women, I always say it here, when men want to get married, they'll be wearing the Benin people clothes. Some will be wearing India people clothes on their traditional marriage day. And it is a dressing that identify us as a people because
And
it is part of our culture.
we're all we're all guilty of that. We want to say we blend and capture that essence, but at the end of the day, it's like throwing our own culture away. To add to that, really, by now, as the fifth largest ethnic group, I was even expecting that by this point in time, we should even have magic, movie magic, or whatever they call them, should
Yes, yes,
begin
yes. Movie magic
us here
Urobo.
have our own Urobo channel. People are already thriving. People that are even small groups are already thriving because the Yorubas, the Hausa, and the Igbos already have theirs. And I'm not sure if the zones are looking at that. But the Urobo should having, a greater culture in this sense, should be looking at that as a way of showcasing us to the world. I say that, and I don't know if I'll be able to achieve that in my lifetime. There's not everything I can say right here. But like we said, if somebody could say, okay, Mike Okri, okay, let me support you with this, which I know will never happen until I do it myself. But what I was saying, the Orekerekes of this world, they are there with the people in Urobo land. They've been working their way to them. Say, hey, bros, gonna give me this support now. Make una give me that support now. Some people just mere jealousy. Who is this man? What family is he from? You'll be amazed that in the Yoruba kingdom, They barely don't look at things like once it's a Yoruba, they will follow it to the end. So what has gone wrong with us? I keep saying this in all my interviews. I say it. Because the truth has to be told. You know, what we and forgetting that, listen, you need people to go to the very top so that when you're coming back down, you will not fall to the ground. That's sad. But look at from history, there are many top Nigerians Urobos that were in big positions because they never assisted their own people. They went into oblivion, and that is something that is wrong. Many more robo we corner. Many when no more robo. Hey, mavo, you know, Kimi Seboma. It's your phone on there. But we go to equivalent. But we need to say as it is that let the youth them know that you don't have to get close to somebody because of money. You are not going to enslave your right to somebody because of money. Otherwise, your whole generation will be slaves. But if you know that this person, there are people who can give scholarship to people and say, go and study whatever you want and come back to give back to the society you belong, to the community you belong. That is self-upliftment that robots should do. We don't have to wait for government, whatever. So because he's so executive in the state government or in the federal government, then of course you now begin to, even when the guy cannot perform, you will just be hailing him because that's slavery. I will never go to anybody in government house and say, if I go, it's just based on the fact that it's an official visit and I'm merited to be there. But I will not go and start begging anybody for money. I will not do it. So I saw him as a member. I'm as a member. Me mama me ogone. Ogene diruwo. Edan baro dite. Ode jeta noke. Obove. I will help my people. That is the truth. Is a slave to any other.
Before we leave you, we want to know one thing from you. What's your best food? What's your best Robo food, sir?
Hey, Wanieta. Usive. Owo. Where you coming now? Kemerie. That is okay. Konama sit down. Amiedi me carry on there on number when the mario isha okodia. When is any bisha that beyond very terminal. What would you bruise that? You reckon you.
Okobiru, because when we've done we create, or you never off your way. We do not intend to keep you more than this. We spent over an hour here, and we spent over 45 minutes of your time. We are very grateful, and we pray to God that the way you be promoting Robo Nation, the sound of Robo Nation should bless you. And we also want to appeal, because we are liver twist. We always request, we always ask that please open your doors for us. That whenever we have any issues where we need your opinion, you share it with us in the public on the various platforms, so that we all will learn. And just so you know that there are so many persons that sees you, so many of you that sees you as mentor. They don't even know you. You know. So, and you see, you said something that shook my ear. You said our people don't want to help when they have this opportunity. There are some persons that are not up to you because they are in political. They are in the political milieu, because they're in the business class. To talk to them is difficult. Even tell them to come to this very place to say, let us plan, let us have an opinion pool, let's share our ideas on how to. They won't avail themselves. Because, like you said, which is bad.
They are selfish. They are not givers. Givers will do, whether they get anything in return or not, givers will always make themselves available. Oh yeah, did the blessing, all the never work high. But people don't, the secret of blessing, we know, we peace of mind, know that. I buy now. They cannot walk freely. I can enter my car, I don't need my driver. I can drive to anywhere and nobody will challenge me because I don't know there will be conflict between them by the grace of God because will work together. So the sad thing about them, because they are afraid of their behind and their shadows, whenever it comes to assisting the other, they get jealous. Oh, you don't have, if in those days, Joe, whatever you go it's not because for him to come back and say thank God. If he comes back and appreciate, God bless him. But if he doesn't come back, let him also use that same spirit to help somebody else. That is how the nation building grows among men. They're tired.
Wakubiro. Because avec un jour, il y a akamile avec ici le okofa Wakubiro to de ça. Nugo ça.
When
Otionye, we've been privileged to have the global celebrated musical legend Mike Okri on stage for the past 45 minutes, where we've been discussing. We first talked about the Mike Okri brand and the journey so far, what's happened, and his future plans. We also saw, or rather, dabbled into certain issues that hinders the growth of Robonation, our own home, and what we should do. And he mentioned certain things that actually touched me, and they are correct. There are people out there who have one or two things, but they don't have the opportunity. They don't have it. And frankly, majority of the modern day urban man or men would rather give you bread to eat, not to assist you to become a baker yourself, which is so wrong. We have so much talent, raw talent, that would take Robonation to the zenith. You know, I mentioned the Otacha a while ago. If you watch that young man's rap videos, you will know, yes, we have enough raw talent. But the problem is we don't have platforms. I want to use this opportunity to appeal to Urobo Nation. This assistance we are talking about here may not be money. Even if it is, it may not be in trillions. Like Orekereke, what he needs may not be the whole of the money in your account. If Orekereke is doing a program that is promoting Robonation, you should be there to share him up. You should be there to form the quorum, the crowd, to share, so that tomorrow he will want to do more. And by the time you keep doing it, before you know it, other persons will join. That's why Urubone, what it means is that if you have somebody leading or ruling somewhere, the kind of cloth you use in wrapping the person, that is what outsiders will use. The kind of respect you give to the person, that's what outsiders also emulate. So let us help ourselves. The help will not come from behind. The help will not come from abroad. The help will not come from the east. It will come from the west. It should come from Robonation. And one truth is, there are persons who have arrived today, but they didn't get their help from Robonation. Therefore, they too are wary to help. They don't want to help because they were not helped from Robonation. But I also do not think it is right. So therefore, please, let us help ourselves every now and then when the opportunity comes. Yes, thank you. He said, correct, of course. Make a vote why because we say or without Ogban Robona. What that way? Why share your Facebook na? Why you comment? Why you copy link na? Why in essence, please, if you are watching this program, endeavor to share it, comment on it, you know, copy the link and send it to your friends, your relatives, your families, your allies. Our Facebook, we'll have a YouTube channels. Please go there and subscribe so that together we'll have a platform for an opinion or pool in Robonation. With this, we'll be coming to the end of today's program. But before we go, let us again play one of the beautiful songs of our brother, Mr. Mike Okri. And this very one is the one he did. I love this so much. And yes, Pauline, Obakboruru Esievu, my big sister from Kaduna. Thanks for watching. We appreciate you. And we also know someday, by the grace of God, you oblige us the opportunity of having you on platform where we can discuss and dissect some of the issues affecting Robo Nation to your perspective, because you're also an opinion leader that I respect so much. Thank you so much. So Besake Yabiko, Weja Wunere, Okakuna Wamrijereta.
Hey, my friend, time na money. Make you not play with your work, yeah.
Time well, no waka waka, no gossip, no spoil another man. Use your time well, do better thing. Money not never from heaven, do better thing. Money go come. Now true word that they tell you so. Hey, true word not be cheap, my brother. Not the spoil person. Yeah. Time na money, time na money. Make you use your time well. No waka waka, no gossip, no spoil another man. Use your time well, do better thing. Money not come from heaven. Do better thing, money go come. Now true word that they tell you so. Hey. Money not never from heaven. Do better thing, money go come. Now true word that they tell you so.
Now, so make we take our time to do better thing. Make we not take do yaga yaga. Make we not take do yaga yaga. Make we not go invest our time in gossiping. If we not see anything do with our time, I beg, make we take make sure say we promote Urhobo Nation. Make we take our time to support others and ourselves in Urhobo Nation. Make we take our time to project Urhobo Nation. With this, we are saying goodbye, and then we hope to see tomorrow again. Thank you. God bless us all.